I think the big challenges are, a lot of them come from an emotional level. People often say that, people think that entrepreneurship is more risky than it really is. A lot of people say that the entrepreneurs are taking a risk on a big idea, when in reality, entrepreneurs are not such big risk takers. You take guys like Sergey and Larry with Google. They were not risk takers, they are actually pretty conservative when you think about it. They had gotten their PhDs in this topic, right? They were very well informed, they had sort of a background plan. They had investors, so they weren't even investing their own money into this thing. Entrepreneurs are not risk takers in the sense that they do something that they recognize as risky. In reality, they're doing something that they recognize is not very risky. They recognize as something that's really needed. And I think, in fact, they're measuring the risk of accurately. And it's other people who think that this is a risky idea. The entrepreneurs are really the guys who see the risk correctly, right? The risk that they do take, however, is social risk. And social risk is big, and I don't want to put down social risk at all. They take the risk that if they fail with their idea, they've got investors to let down. They have friends and family who have been supporting them. They take social risk in that, in trying to put all of their energy into something, they're ignoring their friends who want to see them but maybe haven't seen them for the last few weeks. They're not going out, they're not doing the normal things that everyone else is doing, and they have to explain to their family members again for the 7th Thanksgiving dinner what it is that they do and why it is that they are not going to be able to pay back their investment anytime soon. So they take on a lot of social risk, and that can be very difficult. It can be emotionally trying, and I think social risk probably is the biggest and the scariest kind of risk that exists. I mean, you're working with other people's money, so it's not too bad for you if it's gone. The product thing will happen, right? It's just whether or not you will do it. That's the question. So there's a social component. What else is difficult? The difficulty is that there's no support structure there. There's no base of knowledge to rely on, right? If you were trying to do something like, saying before, if you're trying to take an idea from 1 to infinity, you could read a textbook about how to do that, because people have done that before with products. You open up any book that you would get at Harvard or that you would read in business class, and you follow the steps, and there's a framework. There's a lot of people who have been thinking about the right way to do this. Whereas when you're doing something on your own, there often isn't a prescribed path. You sort of have a feeling about what you should be doing, but you often lose this anchor to reality. And that's one of the biggest risks, I think, is that you lose touch of reality, and you are worried that the things you're doing are not the right things you should be doing. You're sort of walking blindly through the dark, and you have no idea if you're even going in the right direction or if that's the right direction. Right? You're feeling, and that's the scariest feeling. There's no support, and there's no one out there who can say, I've been through this before, here's what you should read, or here's something. You're literally creating it as it's happening.